full-time and I accidentally deleted my novel, so I had to learn really quick how to write every day. Hello everyone, my name is Lynn. I'm an author, a book cover designer, and the creator of the Book Launch Planner, and I post weekly videos on writing, book publishing, and of course, book marketing. So if that sounds good to you, be sure to hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell so you never miss an upload. So before I jump into things, I want to make a very quick announcement. On October of 2021, that's not this October, but the following October, I will be attending the Writing Community Convention. This convention will take place in Texas, so myself and my husband will be flying out there. We're making a whole vacation out of it, but I will be there. I will have a booth set up, I'll be signing books, and I'll also be on the AuthorTuber panel where you can talk to myself as well as a few other AuthorTubers, and we can just have a nice discussion. So if you want to learn more about the convention and if you want to go to the convention, be sure to just visit the link down below. So let me explain myself. I don't normally write every day, mainly due to the fact that I do have a full-time job. I work 40 hours a week, and for the most part, I used to just really write on the weekends. I would occasionally write during the week. I would like to write more during the week, but realistically, it only really happened on the weekends, and I tended to write a lot all at once rather than just a little bit every day. All of that changed when I accidentally deleted my novel. For those of you who didn't watch the video, I will leave it up in the cards as well as down below. I basically broke my external hard drive and lost all the data on that external hard drive. So the whole thing is explained in the video. We're not dealing with that right now. All you need to know is that I was only able to recover 30,000 words out of that entire novel, and now am doing a mad dash to finish the rest of it. I am in the middle of this massive writing spree, as I've been calling it, and so far it's gone pretty good. We had a few hitches. I had some car troubles, basically lost my mind. But before I had the car troubles, I was doing really good. I was not only writing every day, but I was writing a lot every day. So today's video, I'm basically telling you what I feel like really made a difference and what allowed me to write every day, even though I have a full-time job, even though I do these YouTube videos, I have a Patreon page, I work with cover design clients. I've got a lot on my plate, and basically sometimes I feel like I'm gonna lose it, but I'm gonna tell you how I still managed to fit writing in. So first things first, you're never gonna have time to write. I don't care what your schedule is, unless you consider yourself already a full-time writer, odds are you don't have time to write. So you have to make time. And by make time, I mean you might have to reevaluate your entire schedule. For those of you who missed it, I do have a video on how I created my writing schedule, so I will leave that linked down below as well as up in the cards. And a fun part of that video is that it also includes a free download to create your own little writing schedule template, so make sure you check it out. Basically, if you're writing full-time, the way that you make time is that you're either gonna have to wake up earlier and write before you go to work, or you have to write during your lunch break. Now, for those of you who haven't written during your lunch break before, you can either try to eat as you're writing, which I don't recommend. I actually find it a little bit easier if I either one, shovel my food and eat it really fast, or two, it's just sometimes easier to eat during my actual job, because my actual job is spaced out, whereas writing, I only have a half hour to write, so I really want to take advantage of that half hour. Next thing is to stop feeling sorry for yourself. So this is something I especially had to learn. In my case, it might not apply quite to you guys, but basically after I deleted my book and then had to rewrite the majority of it, I spent the first day, the first day where I was supposed to write just 10,000 words, get a big chunk of it out of the way, I spent a good hour just feeling sorry for myself. So eventually it dawned on me that I need to stop feeling sorry for myself and actually sit down and just do the writing. For me, it was stop thinking about the fact that you did something stupid and now you have to rewrite. I just ignored that and I just went ahead and started writing. For you guys and for probably anyone who works full-time, including myself, you have to stop feeling sorry for yourself in terms of the fact that you're gonna be tired. So you really have to just be like, I'm gonna stop complaining about being tired. I'm gonna stop complaining about having too much on my plate. I'm gonna stop complaining and feeling sorry for myself and whining about it, and I'm just gonna do it because that's the only way it's gonna get done. Next up is that you wanna start writing as soon as possible. Now, I myself learned very quickly that I am not a morning writer. When my husband and I actually first bought our house, we woke up every single day at 4:30 a.m. It was awful. I hated it. It only lasted probably about 2 months, which is actually a decent amount of time. But that's how I got the majority of my third novel, She's Not Here, written. To be said, that is not how this fourth novel is getting written. I don't enjoy waking up early. I do enjoy just getting my writing done as soon as possible. For me, during the week, that means I get the writing done during my lunch break. That way, when I get home from work, it's already done and I don't have to worry about it. But on the weekends, I start off my weekend by usually going to the gym, and then when I get home from the gym, I try to do my writing right away. Otherwise, if you don't put your writing first, you're just gonna keep pushing it out. Next up is writing sprints. So I have worked very, very hard to train myself in writing sprints. Writing sprints is basically when you take a chunk of time, and during that time, you are only allowed to write. The goal is that your fingers never stop moving. So when you're first starting out, you start off with something like a 5-minute sprint, 10-minute sprint, and you can work your way up. I personally have found that my sweet spot is about a half an hour, and I am currently trying to train myself to write 2,000 words in a half an hour. And hopefully I'll have another video on that soon when I actually master that. To help me focus during writing sprints, I use the Forest app, and basically it's an app that you turn it on, you set it for a certain amount of time, and during that time you cannot go do other things on your phone. You can, but you're gonna kill the tree that you're trying to plant. So the goal is to build a little forest of trees that you create the longer you basically don't go on social media. Like I said, my sweet spot is a half an hour, so I set the Forest app for a half an hour. I hit the plant button, and then for that half an hour, I'm forced to stay focused and actually do some writing. If you do writing sprints, let me know in the comments down below if you have any tricks that you use to stay focused, whether that's another app or maybe you listen to certain music. Whatever works for you, let me know in the comments down below. The next thing I do is that I celebrate the little victories. So there are going to be some times where you write 1,000 words in a day, 2,000, 3,000, whatever, and then there are going to be other days where you might only write 300 or 200 or 100, and you have to go easy on yourself in the fact that you have to realize that even though you didn't write a lot, you wrote something, and that's something to celebrate. The next thing you're gonna wanna do is learn how to work through exhaustion. So this is similar to the whole stop feeling sorry for yourself, but it's a little more specific. Because if you are the person who can't get their writing in before work starts, or you can't fit in writing during your lunch break, you're gonna have to do some writing when you get home from work, and you're gonna be tired. So I found that when I'm tired, the worst thing I can do is relax, because then once I sit down, I don't get back up. So my suggestion is that even when you're really tired, keep doing something. It doesn't necessarily have to be writing. Maybe it could be something as simple as doing the dishes, doing the laundry, just a little bit of something to wake up your body. I personally have an hour commute on my way home from work, so during that hour I get really tired, and by the time I get home I just want to sit on the couch. But I can push through that tiredness and do some chores around the house, and then I feel like a little bit more woken up, a little bit more like I can actually accomplish things that that require brain power now. My next tip is music. I adore writing to music, and not just any music. For me, I like writing to movie scores. I like really epic and dramatic movie scores. They help me get in the zone. And this is where the trick comes in. I only listen to this music when I am writing. Like, as soon as the music turns on, I have to turn on my Forest app and go into writing mode. Like, I'm not allowed to listen to music in between writing sprints. I'm not allowed to listen to it for anything else that I do. I only listen to movie scores when I'm writing. That way my brain kind of makes a shift and is like, okay, we're writing right now. Same goes for the next tip, which is find a spot. So your spot is where you decide to write. And what I mean by this is, again, you want to find a spot that's dedicated to writing, sort of like you'll have music that's dedicated to writing. So the spot is just so when you sit down into the spot, you know, okay, it's time to write. Like, you've created a habit now. For me, I found my spot is actually in bed. So the bed in our master bedroom actually, like, is one of the ones that reclines. So I put the head up a little bit, I put the feet up a little bit, and I get my little writing desk and I just type away really happy, and it's super ergonomic for me so I don't get uncomfortable. And even though it's also dedicated to me sleeping, for some reason, it works as a writing spot as well. And my last tip is don't break the chain. So this is actually a method that was created by Jerry Seinfeld. It's basically you take a calendar, and that little calendar is dedicated to whatever habit you're trying to create. And it goes around the theory that you have to do something 30 days in a row before it becomes a habit. So the name Don't Break the Chain comes into the fact that you're gonna have this calendar and you're gonna put little X's every time you do whatever you're supposed to be doing. In this case, it would be writing. So every time you write for a day, you create an X. And the goal is that you don't break the chain. Every X is an additional, like, chain link in the chain. So you want to keep that chain going for as long as possible. If you skip a day and you don't end up writing, then you broke the chain, and that's a bad thing. It's really just a way of tracking your habits. If you're someone who loves bullet journaling, you might already have a habit tracker, which follows the same concept. It just looks a little different and probably a lot prettier now that I think about it. If you use any of these tips, let me know in the comments down below, or if you have additional tips, also let me know so I can use them, because I need all the help I can get. I also wanted to share this week's patron of the week, and that is Mandi Grace. We may share the same spelling of our first names, but we are indeed different people. She's actually one of my cover design clients, so I had the honor of designing the book cover for her debut novel, Return to Sherwood, which is an epic retelling of Robin Hood. If you want to learn about Mandi, not me Mandi, but Mandi Grace, you can visit her YouTube channel, which is right here, or you can also visit her down below. If you'd like to be featured as one of my patrons of the week, be sure to join me over on Patreon. You can unlock a lot of cool content there, from exclusive videos, podcasts, and a lot more, so be sure to check it out. You can also sign up to my newsletter. When you sign up to my newsletter, you get access to my library of resources, which includes webinars, free downloads, and even an excerpt of one of my books. That is it for today's video. Thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to give it a thumbs up, comment down below, and subscribe. If you'd like more videos on writing, be sure to check out the playlist over here, because it has a lot of resources for you.